Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Star Wars The Bad Batch reaction here on the Canon Collector channel. We are halfway through this season of The Bad Batch with today's episode number 8. I don't think that there's been any super official word from Disney if this show is going 16 episodes, but the Kiner brothers, Kevin Kiner and his sons, they have tweeted out a bunch of stuff as far as things about the finale, and I believe that they have confirmed that the finale will be episode 16. So today is the midpoint of this season, and I'm expecting some fairly big things to go on. Pretty much based on what we saw last week with the Empire being alerted of the Bad Batch on Braca, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna get to see some Crosshair today. If we don't see some Crosshair, I will be a little upset, but I was too grumpy last week in in kind of taking the description of last week's episode and kind of running with it in my own head, and they gave me exactly what I wanted and exactly what I needed, what I've been kind of talking about, the only minor complaints that I've had from this show, which was we were just setting up a lot of characters, and it looked like we were going to be setting up another character, and in fact we were not. We really doubled down on the whole Trace and Rafa thing with the reveal of Rex. This show is really hitting it. Anytime I'm upset, they address it in the very next episode. So I am expecting some big things to happen today. Not huge, but at least some big things that are going to give us momentum and propel us all the way to episode 16 in the finale. So let's go in here and check out what we got today. Reunion. The Bad Batch find themselves cornered on treacherous terrain. Oh, there we go. Crosshairs right there. This is exactly what I wanted. This is perfect. So I'm very, very excited for this, and I don't want to do a whole lot of pre-ramble before we get into this, because I really just want to dive right in, because I think a lot of the stuff that we've talked about and everything that's happened so far we've really covered. So I don't want to spend too much time doing that. But the one thing that I do want to address, and I addressed a little bit in the edit of the last reaction video that we did, how in God's green earth did I miss them saying Braca? How did I do that? I absolutely talked over it. Kids, do not record reaction videos because you will miss things. I gotta shut up to a certain degree. Obviously, you gotta keep things entertaining, but like, shut up, man. You're missing key canon stuff. That was huge. And I totally missed it. And I even said it later on in the reaction. I was talking about it feeling very Fallen Order and this and that. Now that I know that it was Braca, where that game starts off, where Cal was hiding out at the beginning of Fallen Order, it's crazy. And now all these little Easter eggs start popping up, right? Like just the simple things, like the color of the rope that they were using that Wrecker climbed across. Very Fallen Order. The ponchos that the Braca crew sort of scrapper dudes were wearing, same as Cal's, or very similar to Cal's. So many little cool Easter eggs, and I gotta go back and watch it again. Even just that whole episode, like I said there, it felt like Fallen Order. It felt like being in the Venator in Fallen Order. If you guys go back and watch our Fallen Order videos that we did, you'll see me fall into the water, probably in a Venator, just exactly like Wrecker did. So they did a spot-on job with that, and I can't believe I completely and utterly missed it. But that was huge from last week, and that was really awesome. I love all those little tie-ins, and the more that you can give us to these other parts of canon, not just movies, not just TV. You know, this show is going to rely heavily on the Clone Wars and the prequels as references, and I get that those are going to be the big ones. I mean, a little bit of OT. We're seeing a little bit of the original trilogy coming in here, things like Bib Fortuna and stuff like that, and I think we're going to get more and more as we go on. But I really love being able to see other aspects of canon, like comics, like books, like video games. And it is nice when it's not a reference that's sort of a retcon of a reference to something else, like we got at the beginning of the show with the Kanan Jarrus, Caleb Doom sort of Order 66 scene, which I'm not totally mad about. That is totally fine. I think it was really awesome. If you do it in that kind of a way, I'm not mad about the retcon. But that's not what we're talking about, because this was completely and utterly in line. It was really cool to see an earlier form of Braca and what it would become, a more dark and dreary sort of a place. So very, very interesting. Can't believe I missed it. Can't believe I missed it. You know, like I said, there's not a whole lot for me to dive into this week because we've really touched on and covered a lot of things from these last few episodes. And just given this thumbnail and description, I am very ready. I'm ready. This is exactly what I need. This is exactly what I've wanted. So we're good. I got no complaints this week, guys. I got no complaints this week. I am a happy boy and I'm ready to dive in. So no more talking. No more. I talked too much at the beginning of these videos. Let's just dive in to episode 8 of the Bad Batch reunion. So are we still going to be on Braca or are we going to be somewhere else? I kind of hope we're still on Braca, to be honest with you. I just think that would be cool. There's a lot of jumping around in this show, so it'd be nice to have just a slight bit of continuation from the last episode. Still love this intro, baby. I'm bringing it back. I'm saying it again. I still love this intro. The Bad Batch. Here we go. Yeah, Camino, baby. I love it. Oh, this looks so good. They want them. This is probably what they were talking about. They want the Bad Batch to be able to use them maybe to clone more clones. Oh, love this. Love we're still on Braca. This is awesome. I love their friendship. It's so good. You got this, Omega. Oh, man. Dianoga. Oh no. No. No, 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 it's not. That's your boy Crosshair right there. Ooh. Fennec. There it is. There it is. Are we going to see Fennec 2 today? That would be crazy. Or, oh, Cad Bane. Oh, I don't want to get too excited. I don't want to get too excited. Oh, yeah, he knows. He knows what's up. Oh, no. Ooh, wow, yeah, you are surrounded. Didn't work. Good try, Omega. Ho, 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 ho. Ooh, they're shooting to kill, man. That ain't a stun. They are shooting to kill. Yeah, Omega. Get some. Just tossing them. I love that sound. That was great. Oh, he found him. That crosshair found him. Oh boy. Are they starting up that engine? Ooh. Oh, Tech, your brain's really screwed you now. You got 2 minutes, boys. Hurry up. Oh, man. Kablooey. Oh, man. Let's hope that buys him enough time. Ooh, boy. Ooh. Oh. Ooh, this can't be them, though. Is this? So, yeah. Somebody else is here. See? Ha! 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 Woo! Yeah! Oh, dude! He's back, baby! Oh, this is awesome. Oh, I love that little guy. He's got to have friends, right? He's got a whole crew, man. Where's everybody else? Oh, yeah. We got a Wild West showdown right here. This music is perfect. Oh. Whoa. Yo. There's no way Hunter's toast. Oh, man. Oh, man. Just get up. I mean, there's no way, Hunter, right? There's no way. I'm a little worried. A little touch worried. Not gonna lie. I expected Omega to get kidnapped by somebody at some point. But Hunter dying, no, no, no. No, 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 no. Thank God. Thank the Force. This is so cool. Boom. Yup. The sad ending. You're breaking my heart. Not fun music. Wow. Wow. That was absolutely fantastic. That was an incredibly well done episode. Wow. I'm speechless. I was speechless through most of that because honestly, there was a lot of tension. They did such a good job at building that tension throughout the entire episode that you are just tuned in 100%. You're just locked in, worried, really. You're locked in with anxiety. Oh man, that was so well done. That was a perfect mid-season episode. This gives us so much to do here on out for the rest of this season. for the series, even to a certain degree, depending on what actually happens with Omega. But wow, that was perfect. That was honestly everything I wanted. Don't be like me. Don't be like I was last week. Don't get grumpy. Just wait. Just hold on and just wait, because this show nails it. I feel like they nail it every single time. Exactly what I wanted. Exactly what we need to move forward through the rest of this show. They touched every basis, really. You know, you get Crosshair and the Empire back. You get a lot of that stuff going on there, and it's not like we delved in or we had any huge, like, big canon moments. But to see that, like, Crosshair is in charge of a big squad, that they're pretty finely tuned. He's not a bad leader. He does a pretty good job at that. And he knows the Bad Batch so well. He is such a formidable enemy for them. That's crazy. So you got Crosshair over there. We also, you know, we had more, we had a lot of the Rex stuff last week, but we touched on it again this week. And then we got not necessarily Fennec stuff, but Bounty Hunter stuff, which I think is just as applicable and just as good. Because I have a feeling that, you know, Fennec and Cad Bane are going to be at odds with each other. Can we talk about that? Wow. Cad freaking Bane. No crew, nobody else, but we had Cad Bane, which gives so much validity to the theories of Boba actually appearing in this show. Because of what we know from the unfinished Clone Wars arcs where, you know, Cad Bane was essentially taking on Boba. You know, I can 100% see us having a version of that unfinished Clone Wars story in this show. I can totally see that being a thing. I would not hate at all if we just spent all next episode with Cad Bane. Ooh, boy, give me that, man. Oh, Cad Bane, that was big. That was huge. That was so cool. So there's just so much to chew on for this next week until we hit next week, which I'm going to assume might be not as big of an episode. Might be a little more of the search for Cad Bane, or maybe something with Cad Bane, unless we're just hitting it hard from here on out to the rest of the season, and it's just going to be action all the way through, and we are just going after Cad Bane. But I'm pretty sure we're going to have to return to Sid to find out more information on who that was. So that makes sense. Literally touched on every single thing that we needed in this show. We touched on the Empire, we touched on the Kaminoans, we touched just slightly with briefly mentioning Rex. I mean, we got a lot of that last week. We had a little bit of bounty hunter stuff. Of course, it wasn't directly Fennec things, but there are multiple bounty hunters out there after Omega right now. I could see Cad Bane maybe bringing him back to Kamino. Then maybe the Bad Batch has got to go back to Kamino to go get her. I don't know what the play is. We are now at another point where there are a lot of directions we could go in, and I'm okay with setting up some other stuff now, because we literally touched on everything. All my complaints from the beginning of last week's reaction are completely gone, because we're just able to do a ton of stuff right now. And I feel like we have the momentum to go into the rest of the season. I kind of have a feeling we're probably going to be doing similar things to what they did at the first half of this show, with kind of giving us maybe a little bit more next week, and then setting us up with some more standalone episodes, or we're going to get a couple more. I just can't see us doing too many standalone episodes right now with Omega being gone. I think that there has to be some major momentum forward, because you're not hanging out. You're not chilling with Sid right now doing little side missions. This is a big thing. Omega is gone. She is kidnapped. We have to go find her. So I think we're going to be hitting hard for the majority of the rest of this show. I think we are going to be fairly action packed. And you know what? After this week's episode, man, because I am not the biggest action guy. I like the story beats. I like what action can mean for story, but sometimes it's just done for action's sake and for the pew-pew of it. Like this action in this episode really proved, like, they understand how to use action in storytelling. They understand how to take action scenes and build up tension so that when something like Omega getting taken by Cad Bane, it hits so much harder than if Cad Bane just showed up and that just happened. That was absolutely incredible. That whole Cad Bane scene was unreal good. That was absolutely perfect. That is the reintroduction of Cad Bane that I think everybody wants. That gunslinging, outlaw cowboy kind of a thing. And man, did the Kiner brothers, did the Kiner family, Kevin Kiner, they killed it. They killed it. That music was incredible. The music throughout this show is really, really good. I feel like there are some points in here where it's a little cheesy from time to time. There's a little bit of, kid show sounding kind of stuff, but like all of that stuff really happened in like the first couple episodes, so they're probably getting their bearings still on what they wanted to do with the show. And now we're here, man. This is dark, gritty music that I am all for. They did enough of the John Williams thing mixed with the Western themes. Like, the music is unreal. The show is unreal. Everything is so good. I am super happy with this, and I honestly don't know where we go from here. The speculation can run rampant right now because there are so many things we can do, but I really hope next week that we are diving into getting Omega back. I can't see us doing too many standalone sort of episodes before we get her back. I mean, I think that there's going to have to be one next week, maybe. Unless we're hitting it hard. And this is what I'm saying. There's so many different options. Like, I think they have to go back to Sid next week to try to figure out who Cad Bane is. And they're going to have to try to locate him somehow. Going to have to figure out where he's going, what he's doing. Outside of that, I think you just got to go right for it. Once you kind of have a plan in place, you just got to hit it. You got to go right for it at that point. So maybe actually... maybe Fennec isn't meant to be a villain, because what we saw in that episode of hers was that she wasn't necessarily 100% a villain. She was definitely bad. She was definitely in somewhat of a gray area, but she still had some level of compassion for Omega. Like, there was that falling scene when Omega was falling. She caught her. Obviously, she wants her bounty. She wants to get paid. She wants to make sure that Omega's alive. But given what we know from The Mandalorian and what we see there, she does have somewhat of a code. She's not completely heartless. So I think we're kind of getting more of an anti-hero vibe than a villain. I originally thought she might play more of a villain role in this. It seemed, from the beginning of The Mandalorian Season 1, it seems like up until that point that we first meet her, like everything before, she's just a terrible person. And then after that experience, it seemed like, oh, she got a little better. But I think that perception is wrong. And I think that she's kind of been an anti-hero the majority of her life. So I think that might be actually what we're getting. I could see Fennec coming back into play to aid the Bad Batch in finding Cad Bane. I could see there being a Cad Bane Fennec Shand rivalry, I could totally see that being a thing. But how does that tie in with Boba? What goes on there? Maybe something here happens in this show that kind of alludes to Fennec and Boba's relationship. Maybe Cad. I could see Cad Bane going out in this series. I could see him eating it, biting the dust by the hand of Fennec Shand. And maybe she helps Boba, lets him escape. It seems like Boba owes Fennec a favor, and I think in some way in this series we're going to see what that is. And this is what I've been talking about with the kind of mindset and shift kind of after Rebels of animation really mattering and at least playing a big enough part to where if you are interested in these characters, in their history, in their backstory, even if you're just a casual fan, these are going to be good things for you to watch. Not that Rebels didn't matter, and not that it didn't have a lot of interesting things in that show, but it did feel very like this is over here, and it doesn't, you don't need to watch it. But this to me feels like it's going to be setting up a lot of things for the Book of Boba Fett, for the future of The Mandalorian, what we've already seen in The Mandalorian. So I think that it's going to have some fairly big significance. This show in many ways I think is going to have some big key things, but I think that that's one of them. And I don't know if we're going to get to it by the end of this season, but at some point in time I feel like we are. Maybe the finale, we might get some hints that there's Boba stuff. There are Boba things happening in this, and I think that that's genius. I think that that's perfect. What I would really like to see, because there have been rumors of flashback scenes happening in the Book of Boba Fett, And it would be really, really cool to see something that happens in this series, if Boba does end up coming in, having it be replicated in live action for the Book of Boba Fett. That would be unreal. That would be really freaking cool. But we'll see, because there is no confirmation on Boba, just wild speculation at this point. But I think that we are, there's a lot more bounty hunter stuff going on. It just seems like that's what they're setting up. All the little extra Easter eggs, all the little extra things that we're seeing here are really pointing towards Jabba and Boba. So very excited for that. And just seeing Cad Bane here today, I think, proves that even more. I am very, very excited for what's going on here and what they're doing. There wasn't a ton of maybe little canon Easter eggs and things in this show. There wasn't a ton of that stuff, but a lot of story beats for moving forward for the rest of the season. I feel really weird right now. I can't totally get my thoughts together because I'm a little sad. I am. I'm a little this is a little in the tension and everything else, and it's just I think that's exactly what they wanted from this episode, and I think it does a perfect job at that. I am so excited for episode 9. It's so weird to feel this way, at the end of episode 6, kind of feeling like we're spinning our wheels a little bit, and now I am just in a completely different mindset for the show moving forward. Again, it's never been bad. It's never been too negative. I think I was just grumpy at the beginning of last week's reaction. This show is killing it. I have no words. I honestly don't have a lot of words, and I'll probably rewatch this thing a bunch more times and have a lot more to talk about at the beginning of our reaction for episode 9. But right now, I am just thrilled. I am excited to see that we saw Crosshair again. I think that was just perfect. I love that I hate it, but I love that there is some movement on the bounty hunter side of things, and that Omega is taken, because I think that does add a lot of drama, a lot of stuff to this show. I just think it propels our show forward. I feel like this show just has direction. I really think that this show has direction. And they know what they're doing with it, and they know what they want to do with it. Every episode that you watch, even with my comments last week, there's still a point to it all. And I think last week, the beginning of last week, and last week's episode was a direct response to the few episodes before. Genius. Absolutely genius. I'm thrilled. I am thrilled with this episode. I'm a little sad. I'm going to watch this a few more times and probably continue to be sad. But I think that is the point, and that is the point of this mid-season episode. And next week is just going to be something. I really think so. In these next few episodes that we have going on before the finale, they are propelling us into the second half of this season marvelously. So, with that being said, make sure to stay tuned to our future reactions, where we're going to go over the second half of this season, week by week, episode by episode. So make sure that if you like this video, that you are clicking that like button down below. As well, make sure to comment and let me know what you guys think is going to happen. What do you guys think is going to happen with all this Boba stuff? You think that Cad Bane coming in today gives validity to Boba Fett appearing in the rest of the show? Do you think I'm right there? Do you think I'm crazy? Am I way off base? As well, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our reactions coming up here. And we're also on Instagram and on TikTok at The Canon Collector. Once again, guys, thank you all for watching this video, and I am maybe gonna go cry. I don't know. I'm a little sad right now. This is a sad episode, but a great episode. So we will see you guys next week for episode 9 of The Bad Batch. As always, guys, may the spires keep you, and may the Force be with you. See you guys later.